Chapter 18, competitive markets. That's competition. Okay. So when we talk about competition, competition means the rivalry that exists between firms within an industry. That's what competition is. But let's see what they say here. Okay, so what's a competitive market? Competition is the rivalry that exists between firms when trying to sell goods in a particular market. So that's what competition is. You are trying to sell, you're trying to attract customers from, you are trying to attract the same customers. So that is competition already. Yeah. So it's a market, there's a lot of competition. In getting started, the market of stories, we don't need to go there. The market, when they say there's competition in the market, it means there are different businesses selling almost the same products for the same customers. That is what competitive market is about. You get it? So they say in the competitive market, there are likely to be some common features. So what are the features in the competitive market? One, there's a large number of buyers and sellers. So one of the features of a competitive market is that there's large numbers of buyers and large numbers of sellers. Sellers trying to sell identity products to the same customers. The products sold by each firm are close substitute for each other. So they are substitute. That means this product can be in place of another. With low barriers to entry, that means there's no reason why businesses would not be allowed into the industry. So new businesses can set up into that industry without any problem. That's low barriers of entry. Each firm has almost no control over the price charged because in the competitive market, they are price taker. That means they cannot control, they don't have control over price. So the price is determined by the market forces of demand and supply. Clear? There's a free flow of information about the nature of products, availability at different outlets, prices, methods of production, and the cost and availability of production factors. In a competitive market, information is there. Nobody lacks information. So that means both the sellers and the buyers, they have knowledge about the product or about the service. That's what the competitive market is about. Is it clear? So move on. Competition and the firm. Generally, firms do not welcome competition. Most firms would prefer to dominate the market and operate without the threat of rivals. If there is no threat from competition, a firm can usually charge a higher price. There is also less pressure to be efficient and innovative. This reduces the effort needed to survive and to be successful. When faced with competition, firms have to offer products that give consumers value for money. Before we go into what value for money involves, if no business, nobody wants competitors, nobody wants it. Yeah. But without competitors, you don't have that motivation, that incentive to become efficient. Keep going. To keep going now. You can keep going. If without competition, you can keep going because you are the only one dominating. But the efficiency in aspect that we talked about, trying to get better, not keep going doesn't make you get better. Improving, keep improving, that is where we are going. Oh, I continue to move. It's not the same as I continue to improve. You can continue to move in what direction? So direction matters here. Do you get the point here? Yeah. So if there's competition in the market, it gives businesses that pressure. They will be forced to do better, to get better, so that they can also reduce their cost of production. Because if they cannot reduce their cost of production, they won't be able to survive in that market. Because the market belongs to the customers, as it is a competitive market. They are price taker. So because they are price taker, it means prices are determined by the forces of demand and supply. So for your product to be reckoned with, it means you have to sell at prices that are affordable. And to be able to sell at a price that is affordable, you need to be efficient. So do you see how it works now? So efficiency is important in a competitive market. So without competition, there's no reason for you to do better. There's no point. Who is going to hold you? Nobody's going to hold you. Who's going to make you want to do better? Nobody. You are the one, you are selling at the higher price. There's no competitors. No one is competing with you. So the motivation, the incentive to do more, to get improved, to improve your product, your service is not there. Do you understand now? So if there's no competition, You can do whatever you like. But with competition, you have to understand that there's no customer in heaven. All those customers are here. And for you to have them, you need to take them from competitors. So that's why you can only sell to customers if they feel happy about your product. They can only buy from you if they can enjoy the value for their money. So how can they enjoy the value for their money? One, operating efficiently by keeping costs as low as possible. So for them to enjoy that product, they will be able to, you would have been able to reduce your cost of production. Because you're able to reduce your cost of production, you'll be selling to them at an affordable price. They will be happy. Two, providing good quality product with high levels of customer service. Sell products that have quality to them. Rational consumers think about price and quality. So quality is key too. The third one, charging prices that are acceptable to customers, the equilibrium market price. Yeah, you charge a price that we call, you can use a pricing strategy called, yes, equilibrium price is better here because it's economics, not business. Innovation, by constantly reviewing and improving the product. So every now and then, try to improve the content. Try to make the product better than what it used to be. So these are all ways in which customers will have and would have enjoyed the value for their money. And trust me, they will always come back to buy from you. Is it clear? Yes. One aspect of innovation is product differentiation. Let your product be unique. Let your product be different from those of your competitors. Create a unique selling point for your product. If you are able to do that, so your product will stand out from the pack. Is it clear? We'll go down. So the main disadvantage to a firm operating in a competitive market is that the amount of profit made will be limited. Why? Because they have to share the profit amongst themselves. Do you understand? So that's the problem about operating in a competitive market. In markets where competition is fierce, prices are likely to be lower and the potential for profit is also lower. The total profit in the industry has to be shared between many firms, like I just said now. Is it clear? We'll move on. Competition and the consumer. What's the relation between competition and consumers? Most consumers would argue that competition in business is desirable. This is because of the advantage that consumers enjoy from healthy competition. When there's competition, customers are the ones they are the ones advantageous. They are the ones in the advantage position because everything comes back to them dictating what happens in the market. So what are those things what are the advantages consumers have when there's fierce competition in the market? One, lower prices. In a competitive market, firms cannot overcharge consumers. If one firm tries to raise its price, it will lose a lot of its business. This is because the market is full of good substitutes and consumers can easily switch from one supplier to another. If there's competition in the market, consumers, the first thing they enjoy is lower prices. Why? Because they are the one dictating. If you want to sell at a higher price, consumers will stop buying from you. They will seek for substitutes. Even if it's just a cent, they will seek for substitutes. As a result, they are the one advantageous. Did you get it? They are better off.
They're one of the advantage, not you.
Yes. That's lower prices. Two, more choices. More choice for customers because it is a market for substitutes. That's why it is competitive. So that means they have variety to choose from. Customers have variety to choose from. Clear? Better quality. Since prices are the same, they will sell almost at the same price. Customers will now start looking at the one with quality. Is it clear?
Yes.
What are the problems to consumers when they are in a competitive market? Yes, I remember our last class, one of our classes before, maybe my first class with you, I was trying to explain when businesses try to come together to form something.
Yeah, it was
cartel.
Yeah, it was our first class.
Yeah, we call it a cartel. They try to come with a cartel. Do you understand? They come together, they want to charge the same price. So as customers will not have any other choice. So they form a cartel. It's cartel. Clear now? All right. I just remember it now. And also we call it price, we can also call it collusion. Collision, they collide.
Collision.
Yeah, collision, they collide. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
So we'll move on. So what are the problems of what are the problems of competition to customers? First one, market uncertainty. It could be argued that there may be some uncertainty or disruption in competitive markets. This is because unprofitable firms eventually leave the market. This is that some consumers might be inconvenienced. What is the point here? In a competitive market, those that cannot compete with the rest will definitely leave the market. Yes or no?
Yeah.
By them leaving the market, output reduces.
Yeah.
So
becomes uncertain.
Yeah, output will reduce. But you are used to buying from them. But now there are no more. So you don't feel comfortable buying from others.
There's going to be less choices too.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Lack of innovation. It could be argued that innovation in the competitive market might be lacking. This is because firms make less profits in competitive markets. As a result, they may not have enough profit to invest in product development. It's a competitive market where profit is always lower.
Yeah.
So what's the reason why we have to invest in product development? What's the reason why we have to invest in research and development? Why? There's no incentive to do that. Is it clear? So
Yes.
as a result, customers should not be expecting advanced, improved products in the future. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So now we go to competition and the economy. One of the main advantages of competition market of a competitive market is that resources will be allocated more effectively. Why? Because firms have to operate efficiently to survive. They are under pressure to keep their costs down so that their prices are lower. It's also argued that firms in the competitive market are more innovative. This is because innovative firms can get a competitive edge over their rivals. This means that firms will develop new products, new production techniques, new technologies, and new materials. The economy will benefit from this because people will have a better standard of living. The third one, and I will explain all. One of the main disadvantages, okay, before we go to disadvantages, the advantage to the economy is that one, with competition, firms will be effective, they will be efficient. Why do they have to be efficient? They have to be efficient because the resources are not always enough. So you have to utilize, you have to manage these resources. So that brings about efficiency. So an economy that is competitive will have efficient use of resources. That's an advantage. That means resources will not be used up. That brings about sustainable development. That's the first point. Do you get it or not?
Yes.
Two, they'll come up with different methods of different ways of doing things to make sure that things are not used up, to make sure that customers see things in a different pattern. If not, it gets saturated. It doesn't look interesting anymore. So you need innovative ideas to keep customers in touch. If not, you're out, you're outdated, you're gone, you won't be existing. These are the advantages to the economy. So the economy that has more competitors would witness new development, will witness efficiency. Then what is the problem? In a highly competitive market, it says the disadvantage of highly competitive market is that resources might be wasted. One of the reasons for this is that some factors of production are often immobile. When firms cease trading in a competitive market, resources are released for alternative uses. People are made redundant and resources like machines, tool equipment, land and building come up for sale. However, it often takes time for these resources to be reallocated. Now, in an economy that is highly competitive, the problem with that economy is that they might be wasting resources. How? We'll be repeating the same production. They are producing the same thing as I'm producing. It's producing the same thing as we are producing. We are all producing the same thing. We are using the same resources. Why can't just two or few of us produce these things? They will do it well. Why can't those that can do it better amongst us do it instead of allowing everyone to do it? Do you get the point I'm making there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if at the end of it all, some firms are unable to cope, they will leave. But the factors of production that they are using might be immobile. That means they cannot be used for other things. So they will be abandoned. It becomes a waste. And even if you want to sell them, you might not be able to sell them as a trend deal. And also remember that there will be loss of value to them. So resources are wasted. Is it clear?
Yeah.
We have the exam practice question. Which of the following is likely to be a benefit to the economy of a competitive market? Better resource allocation, yes. B, question 2. Which of the following is a feature of a competitive market?
C. There are lots of
Competitive market, right?
Yeah.
There are lots of sellers in the market. Yes, C. Question 2C. Yeah, so that ends the chapter of competitive markets, right? Okay. So the next class is what?
advantage and advantage.
Okay.